So I love my cast iron, and you saw me make a meal that was pretty messy and a little acidic. And so this video, what I want to do is talk about really basic cleaning for this, and to show you that these cast iron pans are not as difficult as a lot of people make them out to be. And so basically, you know, I've had this pan for about 17 years now, and it's, you know, it's served me really well. It's pretty much the place that we keep it is just right here on the stovetop, because we use it all the time. So we just we use this so much that we pretty much just use it all the time, and we've been using it for the last 17 years, and it's held up really well. So let me show you basically the easiest way to clean this thing. So we've pretty much broken every rule about washing these, and you know, for the most part, all I do is sometimes I'll use the green scrubber, but if it's really bad, this isn't really bad because it hasn't been sitting very long, but a lot of times, if it's been, like if we're lazy, and you know, let's say we're lazy and we don't clean it that same day, which happens a lot, and we just, you know, the next morning or the next day we clean the pan, and so the stuff is crusty and hard on. So what I do is I'll soak it like this, and it only takes, you know, just let it soak for while you're doing all the other dishes, and then when you get to this, it's easy to clean, or easier. But I've used, you know, these a lot, and you just clean it out, scrubbing everything down, and if you have to really scrub on it, don't be afraid to scrub on it to make sure it's, and I think because I've done it so much that I'm gonna go shoot my dog now, but the bottom of my pan is really smooth now because I've used this so much on it. So it's really smooth. It's a lot smoother than it was. And so sometimes, you know, for the most part, it still remains black. I don't know, you probably can't see it, but it's taken some of the black off. It's a little bit silvery right here, because I scrubbed it really hard, you know. So let's say I scrub it really hard. Take off some of the coating that you build up on it. And it's okay, you know, I mean, obviously you want that black coating, but I don't know if you can see it now. See the center, more silver. Anyway, so a lot of times we'll just scrub it out like that. Sometimes I will use the soap if it's really bad. And then I just, you know, rinse it out like any other pan. And then I'm gonna put it on the stove. So when I put it on the stove, you know, right now it's wet because I just washed it. And so if I can, my dog thinks I'm gonna make food for her. That's why she's barking at me. Anyways, if I can, I'll put it on heat. Hey! If I can, I'll put it on heat, and it doesn't have to be a high heat. It can be a low heat, and I put it on a low, like 4 or, you know, out of 10, 3 or 4 or 5. But you know, a low heat, and that lets the water evaporate out of it, and then I'll just spray it with you know, with some cooking spray. Or I'll put a little bit of oil in it, But really, the only thing you really have to do is to make it last a long time is put oil in it. So, you know, you can, obviously if you season it, and the more times you do this, you're seasoning that layer. We did season the outside of it when we do that. Every once in a while I'll re-season the outside, you know, maybe like every 2 or 3 years. But we just use it so much. And then, you know, sometimes we might put it out wet and forget to do this part, and so we get a little rust on it on the inside, and so the next time we use it, which is either, you know, in a couple days, I'll just scrub it down with the metal scrubber and put more oil on it, right, and just scrub the rust off of it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing else special to it. So we cook anything we want to cook in it. I guess the only real thing that I don't do is I try not to, you know, if it's really hot, I don't put it in cold water. Sometimes when I want it to cook, or I want to clean it or clean something out of it quickly and it's hot, you know, usually I'll let it cool down a little bit and then I'll run the hot water so it gets hotter, and then I'll put hot water in it. Then I can quickly clean it and then put it back on and cook something else maybe. But other than that, I mean, I don't really do a lot to clean it. It's not as hard as everybody says it is online. You just keep it oiled, right? That's all you got to do. If you want it to last forever, it will last forever as long as you just keep it oiled. You can do anything else you want to it, and it'll just last a long time. So now you see that all the water's dried out of it, and I think you can see how that's different color. That's because I scrubbed that part. So now, you know, now the more you do this, the more that just turns black. So that'll just turn black. If you let it sit in here for a little bit longer, it'll turn black eventually and kind of cook in that oil. And that's what you want it to do. I mean, that's basically seasoning it. You're cooking in that oil in. But it's okay if it, you know, let's say you got to cook something right now and you have that, it's okay. Just spray a little, put a little bit more oil in it. I have found that if I need it to be really non-stick for like eggs or something, or pancakes, that if I had cooked something in it the day before, let's say I was lazy, I didn't clean it the night before, and so now it's, you know, Saturday morning, Friday night, I cooked something. Saturday morning I want to make pancakes, and so I have to clean it out, and that cleaning takes some of the oil off of it, and then I put it back on and I want to make pancakes. You know, so you put a little bit of oil in it while it's warming up, and the oil warms up, and usually that helps. But if it doesn't, it's usually just the first pancake that will stick, and everyone after that will be non-stick. Same with eggs. So, you know, that's, you know, sometimes if you abuse it, your first thing that you put in it won't be non-stick, but after that it's fine. And again, you know, we've had this for 17 years, and the one thing that I love about it is that it's bulletproof. You can abuse it. We've abused it. I love using metal spatulas instead of plastic ones because they're, you know, they don't flex as much. They're stiffer. You can go like this. You know, that's something that you can do with a metal one. You can't do that with a plastic one that really scrapes anything off. Like if you're, you know, sausages will stick no matter what you do, but you can sit there and scrape them off, clean them up real fast, and throw something else on it. So I love cast iron. I've been looking. I think I want to get a steel one just to see how much, if it's better or not. But we've had this and we haven't broken it in 17 years, and we've had kids, and again, it just stays right here on the counter. So hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.